He looked me dead in the eye and said, "When you live with a man, you won't have time for things like this anymore." I was standing there, dripping wet, towel on my head, in my own house. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. This man didn't want to live with me. He wanted to own me. If you've ever been told you were too much too independent, or that you needed to shrink yourself to keep a relationship, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because today's story is about the quiet kind of revenge. The kind where you don't scream or beg. You just step back and let karma do CPR on your dignity. I didn't think I was the villain. Honestly, I still don't. But after 2 straight weeks of my own mother telling me I'd die alone, I started questioning my sanity. Let me rewind. I'm 28. I own my own home. Not inherited. Not gifted. Bought by myself. Every mortgage payment has my name on it. I'd been dating Kevin for about a year and a half. He was 30, funny, charming. The kind of guy who remembered your coffee order and made strangers laugh at dinner parties. The kind of guy everyone called a catch. His lease was ending in November. My place had space. It just made sense for him to move in. Or so I thought. Now, here's the thing about me. Every single night, when the day is done, work emails answered, dishes cleaned, life handled, I take my time in the shower. Not in a wasteful way, but in a ritual way. I have a steam shower with a bench and warm tiles. It's quiet. It's mine. 15 minutes of steam, 10 minutes washing my hair, a few more for skincare. It's the only time no one needs anything from me. And Kevin knew this. Or, I thought he did. One night, he smirked and said, way too casually, "Yeah, you won't really have time for stuff like that once we live together." I laughed. I mean, obviously, it was a joke, right? I said, "What?" And that's when his tone changed. He said I was wasting time, that I needed to be more present, especially when living with a man. My stomach just dropped. I remember standing there, towel in my hands, and the room suddenly felt so small. I asked him why 30 minutes to myself was such a problem. He sighed, like I was the one being difficult. And then he said it. Moving in together means things change. You'll have to adjust. That opened the floodgates. Suddenly, he had a list. Not requests, but rules. I had to put all my skincare away. Fine. Fewer shoes in the midroom. Whatever. I had to cancel my composting service because he wanted to handle it. But then, he said my 17-year-old brother and his friends couldn't be in the house unless he was home. My heart started racing. Then he said I needed to stop volunteering at a shelter because it housed men. I just stared at him. This was not the man I'd been dating. I asked him where all this was coming from. He shrugged and said, calm as anything, "When we live together, you're mine. And you should act like it." Something inside me went cold. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said, "Then you're not moving in." He laughed at first, thinking I was bluffing. I walked him to the door. We talked again a day later, but neither of us backed down. So we broke up. I was sad, but mostly I was confused. Had I missed all the signs? My friends said no, my brother said no, but my mother and my aunt, they lost their minds. "You're selfish. You don't know how to compromise. He was such a catch. You'll die alone." My own mother agreed that teenage boys shouldn't be alone in a house with a single woman. I honestly felt like I was losing my grip on reality. Then, 3 weeks later, I found out the truth. Kevin didn't just say these things to me. He'd been saying them to everyone, my friends, our mutual friends, even my mom. He told them I was high maintenance, that I needed to be managed, and that he was generously willing to take me on. And here's where the revenge begins. I didn't confront him. I didn't argue. I just let him talk. And then, I told the truth, casually, calmly, one conversation at a time. I showed texts. I repeated his exact words, especially this one. "She's mine once we live together." Something interesting happened. People got quiet. His roommates Fianchi started asking questions. The shelter coordinator heard the real reason why I quit. And then, Kevin lost his place to live, because his roommate suddenly didn't feel comfortable having him there anymore. He lost friends, because being controlling isn't cute when it's exposed. And my mother? She overheard him on speakerphone once, ranting about how I would have learned. She didn't say a word, just handed me the phone. The final moment came a month later. Kevin texted, "I think we rushed things. Maybe we can talk." I stood in my steam shower. The warm air filled the quiet room. I didn't reply. I just blocked him. And for the first time in weeks I breathed. Here's the thing about revenge. Sometimes it isn't loud. Sometimes it's just refusing to shrink and letting people see exactly who someone is, completely unfiltered. Thanks for watching.